Have you ever felt bored of sports that are seen every day? Or wonder if there are any cool sports you don't know about?
If your answer is yes, then be pleased that you're here tonight.
But first, let me introduce ourselves. I'm Bao and she's Karine.
First, you're gonna learn about sepak takraw and cricket. It's a sport in Malaysia and a badminton game originated in Southeast England.
Second, we brought sepak, Quidditch, and shovel racing. Quidditch, known as the fictional sport in J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter. And shovel racing, an unusual game where you race down a snowy hill with a shovel.
Third, wade through the knowledge about zorbing and unicycle polo. In zorbing, it gets to roll downhill inside an orb. And in unicycle polo, it gets to playing unicycle and hockey at the same time.
And here are some sports you might have known already. Street dance and rhythmic gymnastics. You free dance in the street for street dance and perform gymnastics on the floor for rhythmic gymnastics.
Next, we have fireball soccer and extreme ironing. In fireball soccer, it lets you play a soccer on fire. And extreme ironing, it gets you wearing special clothes and you need an iron and a board. You can iron on the mountains, the seas, or sometimes even on the sky.
Oh, and I almost forgot. Two of the most exciting sports of all, dragon boat racing and parkour. You race rowing boats in dragon boat racing and run efficiently and fast to the goal for parkour.
Lastly, we have javelin and cannonball. In javelin, you throw a spear for distance.
Yes, and kimball, a sport that makes you throw the tremendous ball around the field.
Also, I want to say that these sports are all delightful and brilliant. They're very worth knowing.
So why not take a deep dive in the great culture of these sports?
Hi Tim.
Hi, Camille.
I found a fascinating sport on the internet. It's called sepak takraw.
What's that?
Sepak takraw is a very popular sport in Southeast Asia. Kick volleyball is another name for it. The game is played using a rectangle that is smaller in size to a volleyball. You need two teams of 3 pairs to play it. The court is very similar to a badminton court or a volleyball court. And it seems like a mixture of soccer and volleyball.
The name sepak takraw is so special. What does it mean?
Sepak is a Malay word that means to kick, while takraw is describing the rectangle. So sepak takraw means to kick a rectangle.
Where did it come from?
The exact origins of sepak takraw are not known, but they think it was introduced to Southeast Asia by the Chinese. The game is believed to have evolved from the traditional Chinese game Kuju, which FIFA also recognized as the earliest form of modern soccer.
What is Kuju?
Kuju was a military exercise in ancient China. The soldiers would kick a leather ball amongst themselves and try to keep it in the air as long as they could.
What are the rules of sepak takraw?
Unlike volleyball, players are not allowed to use their hands to hit the ball. You need to use your head, chest, knees, and feet to touch it.
By the way, I also learned a charming sport called cricket.
Cricket, what's that?
Cricket is a bat and ball game played between 2 teams on the field.
And where did it come from?
Most experts agree that cricket may have been invented during Saxon or Norman times by children living in an area of southeast England. The first laws of cricket were written in 1774 by the Star and Garter Club. They changed their name to Marylebone Cricket Club in 1787, and they are still in charge of the laws of cricket to this day. The first international cricket game were between the US and Canada in 1844 in New York.
How about the rules?
Cricket is played between 2 teams of 11 players. To play cricket, you'll need some basic equipment just as what you see on the screen. There's going to be 2 umpires on the field, and each team will take turns batting and fielding. To score a run, the batter strikes the ball and runs to the opposite end of the pitch, while their batting partner runs in the other direction. The aim of the game is to score as many runs as possible before the fielding team gets 10 wickets. The team with the most runs wins.
What do you mean, wicket?
A wicket includes 3 stumps and 2 bells. It's like the base in baseball games.
Thank you for listening.
Hi everyone, my name is Lulu.
And I'm Laura. We are from 7E. Hey Lulu, have you ever read Harry Potter?
You mean the famous novels of the writer J.K. Rowling?
That's right. Do you remember the part of Quidditch?
Of course, that's my favorite part. The game is so cool that I want to join them too.
But there is no magic in our real life. We don't have the magic rooms like Harry Potter.
Do you know that there are Quidditch games around the world?
Really? How do they work?
The rules are quite same as the Quidditch in Harry Potter. There are 7 players for each team.
Are their jobs still the same?
Yes, Tracer's job is to throw the quaffles into the goals and they get 10 points. Beaters need to use bludgers to protect their teammates or attack the other team's players. Keepers need to prevent Tracers from getting points. There are 3 goals, so it's quite difficult. Seekers need to find the golden snitch. The one who catches it can get 150 points for their team. The first team to get 170 points win the game. Do you know the balls in the game?
Yes, I know. The quaffles are the balls for getting points. You can get 10 points from running into any of the goals. The blockers can fly by themselves. They can hurt people. The golden snitch has a pair of small wings, and it can fly by itself too. If you catch it, you can get 150 points. But wait, there is no magic in our real life. How do the players can play the game in our real life?
Don't worry, here's the solution. Players need to use their hands to hold the brooms and run on the ground. Like the story, they need to throw quaffles into the goals, use bludgers to hit people, and also catch the snitch. However, there are some differences. People usually use volleyball replace quaffles, use dodgeball replace bludgers, and a man with a tennis ball replace the flying snitch. In addition, if the players drop from the brooms or were hit by bludgers, they need to tap their hoops on their sides and then resume play. Now, we're going to introduce another sport to you, shovel race.
Shovel racing began in the 1970s. A man who worked in a ski facility wanted to move faster, so he sat on the shovel. At the time, many people loved it, and it became popular faster. In 1997, the first game was started, but many people thought it was unsafe, so it was banned. In 2005 to 2010, it was back again, but for some reason, it stopped. Later, the rules are changed again, and it was back now.
The shovel race season typically runs from December through March. I'm afraid that it will stop again.
There are some precautions that you have to notice in the game. You have to make sure that you buy the shovels only for racing, not for digging.
This can be dangerous because you can slip while going 70 kilometers per hour.
It's even faster than a motorcycle.
Yeah, so you have to be careful. Remember to wear the helmet.
Some players will box their shovel to make them slide faster. But how to win a game?
It's hard to control the shovel. If everybody slides at the same time, they might collide with each other. So they slide one by one and use the timer to time who is the fastest. Thank you for listening.
Hi, Jeremy.
What's up, Jay?
I have something interesting to share with you. Today, I want to introduce 2 thrilling sports that will make both of us really excited.
That makes me curious. I'm all ears. What are the sports?
The first one is doorbing. Doorbing is a fun activity where you roll down a hill inside a giant inflatable ball. It comes from New Zealand and has gained popularity worldwide.
You can do it alone or with a friend. It's a great way to experience speed and adventure. Yeah, it's suitable for people of all ages. Imagine the thrill of going down the hill like that. It must be a unique experience.
Absolutely, but before you play it, it's important to know the rules. Zorbing is usually played with two teams. It's important to avoid colliding with other players. Also, remember not to wear clothes with keepers because they can damage the ball.
Yes, safety first. So, how do you solve?
Good question. First, we need to make sure the ball is airtight. Then, we hold on to the handles of the ball to keep our balance. When you are ready, give it a go.
People can try standing up and taking a few steps inside the massive ball, and most importantly, have fun and enjoy the ride. Also, here are some fun facts about it.
A man called Steve can travel 570 meters inside the giant ball. That's a new Zorbing record. It's hard to imagine that.
Playing it can also improve your reflex, hand-eye coordination, and physical strength. How great for your body.
It can be played on the water, on the ground, and even in the snow. It's hard to imagine that.
Really cool. So, what's the other sport you wanted to tell me about?
It's called unicycle polo. Unicycle polo is a sport that combines riding a unicycle with strategy and teamwork of polo. Players must be able to ride a unicycle, including how to ride, turn, and stop.
It's played on a hard surface with two teams of 5 players each. Players use mallets to hit the ball into the goal. And I think it requires lots of skills and coordination.
Unicycle polo can be absolutely. Unicycle polo can test your riding skills and strategic thinking. Players must keep their balance while playing.
Not only a great way to help your physical health, but also an opportunity to meet people and make friends. People from all around the world engage in tournaments like this.
Also known as cycle polo, unicycle polo emerged as a recreational activity in the late 1980s.
And players must ride on it throughout the game. Thanks for sharing this with me, Jay. I appreciate it.
You are welcome. Both Zorbing and unicycle polo offer unique experiences and opportunities for adventure.
Thank you for listening.
What if I told you something crazy? I have been learning gymnastics since I was 4.
Really? I won a street dance competition when I was a little.
Hi, I'm Ashley.
Hi, I'm Sunny.
Then let's talk about street dance first. What is the history of street dance?
Street dance comes from the popular culture and social dance in America during the 1970s, and it has spread internationally since then.
So what is street dance?
Street dance is always performed in the urban area, and it is often improvisational and social in nature, encouraging interaction and contact with other dancers. These dances are a part of the culture of the area that they come from.
You said you like the drum, right?
Yes, she is a dancer as a part of NWX, a dance group of YGX. And she is the youngest and the first female member for a world-class dance group, Just Jerk. And she produced the dance of Fancy, Feel Special, More and More, and Wannabe. I really like her.
Are there any street dance groups?
Yes, there are. YGX is a South Korean entertainment company. It operates into 2 subdivisions. YGX Entertainment, a sub-label that focuses on production and artist management, and X Academy, a dance and vocal academy.
Wow, I learned a lot.
Well, you said that you have learned gymnastics since you're little, right? Tell us about that.
Okay, then let's talk about rhythmic gymnastics. The history of gymnastics is thought to have begun in ancient Greece about 2,500 years ago. It is used in training to keep fit for sporting activities. In the Greek city of Athens, gymnastic tournaments were held including tumbling and rope climbing.
Wow, that's cool. What do you do in rhythmic gymnastics?
Well, gymnastics performed on the floor with a tool such as a club, a ribbon, and a ball. And gymnastics must be strong and flexible. They are judged on their artistry and the difficulty of skills. They gain points based on judges' scores. They perform leaps and balancing acts while handling their tools.
That seems to be very tiring.
Yes, it is, and it is enough.
Thank you for listening.
Do you know what fireball soccer is?
Is it another variation of modern soccer?
It is similar but not entirely the same. Fireball soccer is not a widely known sport, but it holds significant cultural importance in certain regions.
That's fascinating. When was it originated?
It was originated in the United Kingdom and was invented in 1297.
Do they actually kick a ball that's on fire?
Yes, it may sound highly dangerous, but the players take precautions. They cover themselves with non-flammable salts and spices.
How do they ignite the ball?
The ball's composition remains a mystery to most people. They dip the coconut into kerosene to set it ablaze.
Do they wear special shoes given the inherent risks of the sports?
Surprisingly, they play the sport without wearing any shoes.
Wow, how do they engage in such a perilous sports?
Teenagers participate in it as a means to test their courage and bravery.
Where is it primarily played?
It is mainly played in Indonesia. Some Muslims play it as a way to welcome the month of Ramadan.
I see. By the way, have you ever heard of extreme ironing? Compared to fireball soccer, extreme ironing is a more widely recognized sport. Do you know that?
I've never heard of that.
Allow me to provide some information for you. Extreme ironing is an extreme sport that people iron clothes in different locations.
That sounds interesting. What's the history behind it?
The extreme ironing was originated in 1992 in England.
What's the objective of the sport?
Participants take ironing boards to remote and iron clothes in different locations. It is the latest dangerous sport that combines the thrill of extreme outdoor activities with the satisfaction of workplace garments.
Where exactly do they go?
People attempt ironing clothes in different locations such as rivers and mountains. Some even iron clothes while skydiving.
Can we really consider this activity a sport? It sounds more like an activity that they participate to grab others' attention.
That's really real. The Extreme Ironing International Tournament was first acknowledged as a sport.
Is there really a competitive aspect to the sport?
Yes. They hold a world championship in Munich, Germany every year.
So, it sounds like everyone can try it?
Absolutely. If you want to try it at home, you need to prepare something, such as ironing boards and some clothes. And then you can first try it at your house, and then you can try it at more dangerous places.
Thank you for your attention.
I'm Jennifer. Today we're talking about two kinds of sports. The first sport we are talking about is dragon boat racing. Dragon boat racing is a sport people usually play during Dragon Boat Festival. It's on the 5th day in the 5th lunar month. It aims to memorialize an ancient poet. Once upon a time, there was a beloved poet called Xu Yuan. But one day, some officials started to spread rumors. He was so disappointed that the emperor didn't trust him. Eventually, he ended his own life by jumping into the Milo River. People took boats to find him, but no one could. To keep those fish away from his body, people threw rice dumplings in the river. From that period of time, people started to memorialize him every Dragon Boat Festival. In the dragon boat racing competition, there would be 20 rowers, a drummer, and the person who catches the flag. Rowers usually have strong arms, so they can row the boat faster, and the flag catcher usually has longer arms, so they can catch the flag easier and more quickly. The distances of the river in every game are different. The team that takes the flag first or uses the least time to row wins the race. During Dragon Boat Festival, many ethnic Chinese have customs like putting special plants in their homes. Because these plants have special smells that can keep bugs and diseases away. Also, people believe that they can bring good luck. By the way, there are also other interesting customs like balancing eggs, drinking Ryoga wine, and eating rice dumplings on this day.
The second sport we are going to introduce is parkour. Parkour, also known as free running, is an extreme sport which went viral in the last few years. This special physical activity can be one of the most fascinating sports which can catch everyone's attention. David Bell, a founder of parkour, is from France. He got his idea from his father. The idea is to get from point A to point B in the fastest and more efficient way by climbing, jumping, and flipping. Parkour players can share their life on the internet. Players usually put their camera on their show to record the whole thing, so audience can experience the exciting view with them. If you are a beginner, what do you need to prepare in order not to get hurt? First things first, you will need to acquire a pair of good shoes, gloves, and comfortable clothes. The next thing, you will find a friend and a few places to practice or train. On the other hand, there are several skills you have to learn. For example, learn to move, master landing, practice the muscle up, learn the shoulder roll, and etc. When you start to develop the skill, start slowly, otherwise you may injure yourself. As long as you practice a lot, you will find what your body is comfortable with. Parkour is a sport that needs a lot of practice in an attempt to pass the obstacles. If you are brave enough, give it a whirl.
Both sports are interesting and fun. If you think that's true, give them a try. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.
Do you like sports?
Yes, I like kickball and javelin very much.
Oh really? I love it too. Hey, how about you guys? Do you know the sports?
If you don't know, it's okay. Just listen to us and you'll know more about that.
Hello everyone, I'm Ting Ting.
I'm Pro.
We're going to introduce kickball.
Kickball is a kind of team sport in which, unlike the other team sport, are two teams compete head-to-head. Three teams compete in a single match.
The sport was invented by a physical education professor named Mario Denners in 1986 in Quebec, Canada.
Kickball are played indoors with a large inflated ball about 1.5 meters. Each team are played with 4 active players on the court. Players from each team wear jerseys of different colors.
A match is played for 3 periods, which last for 7 to 15 minutes each.
At the start of the match, people from one team will stand at the center of the court, shout out or make it, followed by the name of the next team that should catch the ball next.
3 players from the named team should catch the ball before it falls on the ground, with both hands and at least one knee bent.
If the named team fails to catch the ball, the other 2 teams score 1 point each. The 4th player of the named team will call out the next name of the team that should catch the ball and put the ball back into play. The team with the most points in the end of the match is declared as the winner.
Here's another sport, javelin.
Javelin is an athletic sport of throwing a spear for distance. Used in modern international men's competition, is a spear of wood or metal with a sharp metal point.
Its overall length is at least 260 cm, and its weight is at least 800 grams. Women's javelin are lighter and shorter than the men's.
There are some rules in the game. First, you should hold the spear over your shoulder and over your arm. Second, it is forbidden to turn it back to the direction of throwing. Third, remember don't leave the
throwing area. Landing head first is considered a grade, so be careful. Unlike other throwing sports, the method of throwing javelin are determined by the IAAF. Other kinds of methods are illegal. Measurements are made from the first point where the javelin has landed, and the javelin must touch the ground to count as a result. The competition process is like the other throwing events, and they generally consist 3 to 6 rounds. In the end, whoever throws the farthest wins the first prize. If each player wants to improve his performance, he can only try on the next round. Thank you for watching.
Wake up, the video is about to end.
Well, now you're done with all these sports from all over the world. They vary from one another because they are influenced by so many different cultures.
I'm thinking of which sport would you like to try, Green?
Maybe Kimball. It sounds kind of interesting. How about you? Which one do you want to try?
Extreme ironing. It must be very tiring and challenging. And remember, before you end the video, please hit that subscribe button to catch up on the latest sports news.
We hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.